What's going on, boxing fans? Julian Williams here at the distance. Just watched this Cotto versus Foreman matchup. Overall, good matchup for Miguel Cotto. Surprised me. Surprised a lot of skeptics who watched this matchup. Me personally, I had Yuri Foreman. I predicted Yuri Foreman to win this matchup because honestly, it was a little bit unfair because we didn't know how or which Miguel Cotto would come into the fight and what Emmanuel Stewart would come, what he would do with Miguel Cotto's game plan for him to win this specific fight. So that's the reason I picked Foreman, but no ifs, fans, or buts about it. Cotto went out and he did his thing in this fight and performed in a very good fight. So rounds 1 through 3, I had Cotto. Round 4, I had Cotto. Round 5, I had Foreman. 6, 7, and 8, I had Cotto. 9, it was where Cotto had the knockout. We did see some improvements from Cotto, especially in the footwork department. But in this fight, we did see some typical Miguel Cotto when he stood and he kind of stalked Foreman, but he was a little more patient. He didn't throw his shots the way that he typically did. As like he did against Pacquiao or Margarito or Jennings or even as far back as to DeMarcus Corley. He didn't stalk and then just throw his shots. He patiently waited and he got his shots off, using his patience. But, me personally, I did choose Foreman to win this fight just based on his movement. I thought his movement would do very well for him in this fight. But, when Cotto, I guess, Foreman hurt his right knee. The movement got taken away, and when the movement got taken away, that's when you take away pretty much all Foreman's game plans, when you take the legs away. And that's due to the fact that Foreman relies mostly on his legs, and his legs set up his offense. But in this specific fight, he wasn't able to set up his offense using his legs because Cotto was there to kind of stalk him and he would land the hardest shots. So usually when a fighter breaks their nose, it starts some breathing problems and you're not moving as swiftly as you typically do. And Foreman, and I do believe Foreman's nose is broken due to Miguel Cotto's jab. His jab was landing and his jab was hurting him. So when that jab hurts you and when that jab lands, it kind of takes away from a fighter who moves like Foreman. Foreman moves a lot and his movement sets up the offense. And he wasn't really able to set up much offense. One, because Miguel Cotto was landing the hardest shots, and two, he would come in and Cotto would land on him coming in. So that's what happened in this fight. Cotto landed some good shots on Foreman coming in. The movement got taken away, and then round 8, the Foreman corner threw in the towel. Arthur McCanny Jr. didn't stop the fight. And why would he stop the fight? Honestly, I do think that the fight should have been stopped. I do believe the fight should have been stopped because, when that knee went out on him in round 7, when the knee went out on Yuri Foreman, that throws everything out of the window. Because I know with Yuri Foreman, he more than likely did not have a plan B. I think he went in with one plan that was plan A, and really with all of Yuri Foreman's game plan, everything relies on the legs. And when everything relies on the legs, when those legs get taken away, you don't have anything else to rely on. And that's what happened with this fight. So I think his corner knew that since Yuri didn't have the legs to turn around and continue with this fight, that's the reason they threw in the towel, because they knew he was going to get hurt. And Arthur McCanny, I do give it up to him that, for not stopping the fight and letting Yuri Foreman fight on, because he did show a display of courage. He did show a display of heart. And Foreman has been criticized in the past for being the type of fighter that has not liked taking a punch and did not like being hit. And I even mentioned in my prediction video, Foreman did not like to be hit. And throughout that whole fight, Foreman defended himself very well from the left hook to the body. You have to admit he defended himself very well from that shot until the very end of the fight, because I don't think Cotto was able to land the hook to the body because he couldn't plant the feet, and Foreman was a mover. So since Foreman moved and Cotto had to plan himself to land that shot, that's what made the fight much different than a lot of us expected it to be. So overall, it was an interesting fight because it answered a lot of questions. Yuri Foreman, with his display of heart, I do believe that Yuri Foreman could come back and become a champion once again. Miguel Cotto proved in this fight that he has some time left in boxing, and hopefully Emmanuel Stewart restored some confidence in Miguel Cotto with this victory, because this was not a close fight by any means. And Miguel Cotto last year, June 13th, Joshua Clottey, close fight. Miguel Cotto won. And Manny Pacquiao wasn't a close fight. He was getting battered on in that fight. So now I hope, hopefully, Emmanuel Stewart restores some confidence in Miguel Cotto, and Miguel Cotto could come back and continue fighting and defending that championship. Maybe we can see the rematch against Manny Pacquiao and see what happens. See how much improvement Miguel Cotto had in that time period, and maybe we could see a rematch against Margarito in the near future, hopefully. But Miguel Cotto won every round except for one round. Had a very, very dominating, I'm going to say dominating performance, because if you look at the fight, everything was like really the same. Foreman moved from side to side. Everything was very lateral and angular, and Cotto was able to pick that up. And with him being able to pick it up, he was able to counter, he was able to land his jab, and land his power shots. And those are three things that a fighter needs in each and every fight. So Miguel Cotto did a very good job in this specific fight to win. Hopefully, as I said, it restores confidence. On a side note, Marocian Green, there's a lot of flaws in Marocian's game plan. Marocian, I believe, should have, if you look at him when he moves, and I did have Marocian winning the fight like 9 rounds to 1, but if you look at Marocian's game plan, Marocian does not throw when he moves. He has to plant his feet when he moves. If he comes across a fighter who's gonna throw when he stops moving, then he's in a lot of trouble. A fighter with a much higher work rate, like a Paul Williams, I think would beat Marocian. Marocian doesn't throw from angles. He doesn't throw when he moves. He has to stop moving, and then he throws. And after he throws, he starts moving again. Or when he gets hurt, that's when he starts to fight, and that temper starts to brew up a little bit more. But Marocian had a great victory against Joe Green tonight. My predictions for tonight, I predicted Sebastian Sylvester over Karmazin. That ended in a draw. I predicted Steve Cunningham over Troy Ross. That ended in the 5th round after a cut or something like that, from what I've read. I picked Marocian over Green, and I picked Foreman over Cotto, and Cotto won. So, I'm gonna give my props to Cotto. Cotto went out and he fought a great fight. Hopefully, he fights a big name in the 154-pound division. But anyway, that was Distance. Thanks for watching. Peace.